Hello students, we're going over 2-4, solving equations with variables on both sides. So my number one move that you should do when you have what I call a three-step equation is you want to remove the smaller variable. Okay, so get rid of the smaller variable first, because then it's just going to be a two-stepper after that. So here's problem number one on page 102. Here's how I attack a three-step equation or equations that have variables on both sides. I want to remove the smaller variable. The reason I always choose the smaller variable is if you get rid of the smaller variable, you are most likely going to be left over with positive numbers. And if you have positive numbers, you're less likely to make a mistake, because sometimes negatives can be a distractor or they can mess with you, and it just looks overall a lot cleaner. Okay? So then I do my second step. So anyway, I remove 2x from both sides. You're gone. 5 things minus 2 things is 3 things. I rewrite 3x plus 2 equals 14. Now we just have a two-stepper, which you should be pretty good at by now. Subtract 2 from both sides. It cancels. Divide both sides by 3. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. X is going to equal the number known as 4. All right, there we go. So that's problem number 1 on page 102. Here are the God questions. Oops, that's problem number 4. There we go. Again, I'm just kind of copying the problems from the book because I just don't feel like printing off anymore. It's easier just to write them down. It's a little faster. All right, here we go. Here's got it. Question 1A. I think it's on the next page. This might be on page 103. I think I remember seeing that. If I'm wrong, just let me know. Might be, but here it is anyway. We have 7k plus 2 equals a 4k minus 10. Now, just as a coincidence here, the smaller variable will not always be on the right side. It just happens to be on the right again. So just to save some space, I'm going to do the subtract 4k up here, because I don't really have a lot of vertical room to do my math here. Minus 4k. Okay, 7k minus 4k is going to be a 3k. Rewrite the plus 2 equals, you're gone now, a negative 10. Subtract the 2, subtract the 2, you're gone. 3k is going to equal a negative 12. Divide both sides by 3. K is going to equal a negative 4, it looks like. There we go. Sorry, my negative and my 4 kind of got squished together there. All right. Oh, my 4 looks really bad. Ugh. Judge me on my penmanship. It's all good. All right, so remove the smaller variable. 1 step, 2 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 3-step equations. Now, 1B, I believe, says, hey, look, you solved it by subtracting the 2k. Can you still solve it by subtracting the 5k? I think we can. You're going to get the same answer, but you're going to see what I mean here in just 1 second. So minus the 5x, minus the 5x, you're gone. Positive 2 equals a negative 3x plus 14 minus the 14 minus the 14. 2 minus 14 is a negative 12 equals a negative 3x. Divide both sides by a negative 3. Divide by a negative 3. Guess what? X still equals 4. So there it is. Perfect example of what I was saying with problem number 1. You get the same result, but for me, this just looks cleaner. Okay, you got a positive variable. You get a positive number. I'm not saying your numbers will always be clean, but if you can have less symbols and less stuff to write down, you're more likely to do it correctly. See, there's a negative, and there's a negative, and there's a negative, okay? Not that it's super difficult, but if you can do it in a simpler way, I would suggest that. All right, that is problem number 1 and the Got It 1 questions.